Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Fellow Guyanese, after the newscast at 12 noon every day, I am dedicating some clips with extremely important information pertaining to Guyana's future. Please, I beg you, take some time and listen to them. It is for your interest and future generations. This is a message from Glenn Lal saying thanks for listening to the Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Guyana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lal Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. And now for the news in detail. The Bank of Guyana noted in its latest half-year report that the nation's oil and gas industry recorded crude oil production of 20.2 million barrels, reflecting an increase of 65.4% from the corresponding period last year. The central bank further noted that there was a monthly average output per day ranging from as low as 84,026 barrels due to a malfunction of the gas compressor on the Liza Destiny vessel, which then surpassed its nameplate capacity at over 124,941 barrels during the review period. Guyana's central bank was keen to note that this performance averaged 4.1% higher than the 120,000 barrels per day target during the first quarter, but was 30% lower in the second quarter. It was also noted that the petroleum and gas industry saw an increase in oil prices from higher net demand as major oil-producing countries limit supply to world markets, while demand increased from the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions in developed countries. The financial institution said this move is intended to help oil prices recover after the drastic decline 1 year earlier. In other news, Guyana's outstanding stock of external debt grew by 2.6% to $1,355 million from the end December 2020 level. This is according to the Bank of Guyana's latest report on the nation's economic performance at half year. The central bank said that the increase resulted mainly from higher multilateral debt owed to the Inter-American Development Bank and the International Development Association. Expounding further, the central bank said that obligations to the Inter-American Development Bank and the International Development Association rose by 8.5% and 3.7% to $599 million and $94 million respectively from end December 2020. The financial institution said this outcome reflected an increase in disbursements of $50 million and $2 million from the respective institutions. And moving on, the Guyana Marketing Corporation opened bids yesterday for a new packaging plant to be built in Sophia. According to the tender, the engineer's estimate for the completion of works is $63.6 million. The facility is expected to engage in the production and packaging of various products to supply Guyana's local and export markets. The facility will be the next step up forward in President Irfanali's vision for a sustainable and robust economy and a food-secure Guyana. It is understood that the facility will be critical in building Guyana's capacity for the large-scale production of packaged products and will reduce the level of spoilage of fruits by converting them to processed products, which can be sold locally or exported. And moving on, the Ministry of Finance mid-year report reveals that during the first half of 2021, the sum of $567 million was spent on the construction, rehabilitation, and maintenance of police infrastructure. According to the report, works are nearing completion at Wim, Albion, and Coven John police stations, while works will continue in the second half at Rijnveld, Providence, Cameron, and Aquera police stations. It was stated that for 2021, a total of $830 million has been budgeted for the rehabilitation and maintenance of the Providence, Rijnveld, Coven John, Albion, Wim, Parika, Wismar police stations, among others. Moreover, it was announced that the total sum of $15.3 billion has been allocated to the Ghana Police Force in the 2021 national budget, and $95 million will be used to resuscitate the community policing groups to help those groups strengthen neighborhood patrols and visibility. And moving on, 54-year-old Patrick Clark was on Monday placed before the court where he was slapped with 7 charges for allegedly pretending that he was in a position to rent apartments that he does not own. Clark, a bus driver, appeared before Principal Magistrate Shirley Isaacs Marcus in the Georgetown Magistrates Courts. The first charge stated that on August 30th, at Stabrook, Georgetown, with intent to defraud, Clark obtained $120,000 from Shawnette Ford by falsely pretending he was in the position to rent an apartment while knowing same to be untrue. Clark denied the charges that were read to him and told the court that he had already started paying back the virtual complainants. The bus driver then added that he just needed some time in order to repay the 7 persons to settle the matters. Police prosecutor Annalisa Brammel made no objections to bail being granted to the defendant, which was granted to Clark, totaling $140,000. The matter was adjourned to November 1st. In other news, a tracker on a cell phone led East Kanji police to recapture an armed bandit before he could have escaped with his stolen loot. The bandit, identified as a 31-year-old man, had reportedly pounced on 2 women and robbed them in their car around 13 hours 30 in front of a boutique located along the Labon Intention public road on the east coast of the Marara. Cops recovered the weapon, which they identified as a Taurus .32 pistol. They also searched the car, found the items he had stolen from the women, and a magazine with live ammunition. The suspect is currently held at the Sparndam police lockups while detectives continue their investigation. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Coming up next, as usual, a short presentation coming from the publisher of the Kaieteur News, Mr. Glenn Lal, followed by the National Outlook with GHK Lal.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different